Welcome to TVBS Meeting Room, where we tackle global issues with a view from Taiwan. I'm your host, Wenqi Yu. Now, today's guest is John Neuffer, CEO of the Semiconductor Industry Association. So why is chip manufacturing so important to the United States, and how did the US lose the edge in the last few decades?
In the US, we woke up to the reality that while we produced 37% of the world's chips in 1990, that's down to about 10% now. It's important to remember the US has never lost its edge in semiconductor R&D and design and the manufacturing of the sophisticated tools that makes chips. Also US-based companies still command roughly half of the global semiconductor market share. We're feeling very positive about the trajectory of the CHIPS Act. As I've suggested, the CHIPS Act is off to a very good start and will begin to reverse a decades-long slide in our share of chip manufacturing. The early returns show that nearly $500 billion in commitments by the private sector are in play. As the CHIPS Act was coming together, we made a point of ensuring that the CHIPS Act benefits would fall to not just US companies, but the foreign players as well. By some estimates, our $530 billion industry today is projected to grow to $1 trillion by 2030.
Well, since you work with so many AI chips related companies, I'm just curious, for companies like NVIDIA, AMD, etc. I assume they all welcome CHIPS Act, but in private, to the extent that you can share, what would they like to see more done at the policy level?
The CHIPS Act did a lot to advance the manufacturing here in the US. But a big part of our industry and a part of our industry we've dominated in the US is design. And we also think that there should be a focus on ensuring that R&D, chip R&D, stays here strong in the US. Coming off the pandemic, we all saw very clearly that 75% of all chips are manufactured in East Asia. And that's just probably an over concentration of manufacturing. So our thinking, the US government's thinking is, well, we just need to have some more manufacturing here. Not all of it, but we need to balance things out and rebalance the supply chains to mitigate risk. You're never going to eliminate risk. That's not how this works, but you can reduce risk. And so there just needs to be rebalancing, kind of a spreading the peanut butter out more broadly so that we're all safer against future global disruptions like pandemics, material shortages, geopolitical conflicts, and natural disasters.